Henry's Heart Art Therapy is a supportive, creative environment that allows one to express emotions through the beauty and power of art. Owner Susan is here to share her story and hopefully help someone going through a similar situation at home. Susan, good morning.
Good morning.
Look, life's about some trials and tribulations, and there's two ways to attack it. You can mope and pout and feel sorry for yourself, or you can be like you and be a hero for the community and be a representative of what toughness and overcoming adversity is all about. What is your art therapy all about?
Well, I've been an art therapist for a long time, since 1991, and I worked with loss and trauma off and on throughout my career. But after I lost my son, it was a stillbirth involving HELLP syndrome, which is a whole nother story, but it was devastating. And there really wasn't, at least where we lived at the time, wasn't a lot of resources to walk through that specific kind of grief. And so as I kind of did my own healing, used my own artwork for that as well, but having been an art therapist, I really eventually knew I wanted to give back in that way and support other people in this process. And so kind of once I went through a fertility journey and a whole other range of things, and was home with my living son for a period of time, I decided I really want my business to be about this. And so I started Henry's Heart Art Therapy.
How does art soothe the soul?
I think that as an art therapist, we're really trained to look at like how it is that visual things manifest in a lot of different ways, and we tap into emotional things visually sometimes in ways that we don't verbally. And so the art therapy can be a really great way to say, I don't know how to say how I feel, but this is what it looks like. And so we use images, we use shapes and colors. Sometimes I use paint, sometimes I use collage work. It really just depends on what the person I'm working with wants to do. If they already have some experience with art materials, then we go with that. But it really does, it's kind of a different way to approach emotions. It's kind of a bottom-up sort of way. Instead of a top-down, we kind of go with how does it feel in your body, what does it look like, and then we can talk about it as opposed to starting out there very cognitively.
You know, Henry's Heart Art Therapy is named after your late son. I know he's looking down from above. He's super proud of the mom that he has right now. Let's go through some of the products that you've created that have kind of helped you transition through some tough times in your life.
Sure. These little guys are grounding stones that I do. These are ones that I did, but I do these with clients too. Oftentimes when we experience something traumatic or grief, can be traumatic or not traumatic in the clinical sense, but they create some heaviness. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when we're grieving or we're having strong emotions, we feel very ungrounded. And when you can hold something a little bit heavy in your hand, sometimes it just kind of helps your nervous system settle down. And so these ones are just made with dominoes and washi tape and tissue paper. They're just made to, they can have whatever you want on them. This one I have Enjoy, and I have an H and a J for my two sons, Henry and Jens. You can put anything you want on them really, but they're kind of just a way to ground yourself and slow down your nervous system a little bit.
Let's go through this painting right here. This is beautiful. You made this?
That is a drawing I did actually as part of my own healing. It's blind contour drawing is what the technique is, something we learned in grad school about you're looking in the mirror, drawing your face, but you're not looking at the paper, which sounds really hard, but it's not as hard as it sounds. And part of that is that it bypasses some of those defenses that we have when we sit down and try to draw something. But that particular drawing is just about the road, my road to motherhood, and how hard it was, how much I wanted to be a mom, and my losses in that drawing. There are the gravestones for my son Henry, but I had 2 additional miscarriages also before we had Jens, so that's referenced there. Some of the holistic stuff that I ended up doing, and really it was right before I went to a retreat, probably a couple months before I got pregnant with Jens, and I was feeling pretty sad and pretty, I wouldn't say hopeless, but like really wanting there to be something that made this road easier.
It's important. You do not need art experience. How can somebody get involved? Maybe a mom's watching right now, they need some help.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have to be an artist to do art therapy. I always tell people, like, you're not going to create art that you're going to hang above your couch. This is work that is very emotional, and sometimes it's not very pretty, so you really don't have to have experience.
Awesome.
You just have to have willingness. One of the things I wanted to be sure and mention
Real quick.
Yeah, is the candle lighting that I do every year on October 15th at 7 p.m. There's an International Wave of Light that is a chance to light a candle for your baby. And then it's all over the world. So at 7 o'clock, as the time zones progress, there's a wave of light, candlelight, that goes around the world.
Awesome.
And so I do that at my studio.
Perfect, Susan. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
I know Jen's is just super proud to have you as a mom, and hopefully you've helped some people today. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Be sure to visit that website on your screen to learn more about the benefits of art therapy. Susan is always here to help.